Welcome to this Startup EdTech Pulse for the 2024-2025 school year. I'm
Woo!
Nicole Cunningham, and this is,
Joel Christensen.
and we are your two EmTech consultants for this school year. Just so that you know that I will be supporting all of the K to 6 schools. And Joel, what will you be supporting?
K to 9, 7 to 9, 10 to 12 schools.
Sounds like he's got more. He actually doesn't. And so with that, let's dive in. We have a lot of things just to kind of get you rolling to start this year. And so pulling this little bit up, we want to hit the ground running with EdTech. And so listen carefully, follow along the best you can. You can always hit pause, play around, and come back to it. And so, ready, Joel?
Ready.
All right. Here we go. It is 2024-2025 school year. It is brand new. We are ready to roll and we're going to start running. Ready, set, go.
Run.
So this year, our theme here in ECSD is optimal learning. And so with that, these are kind of the focus areas. And so of course, as lifelong learners, that us, I guess, educators are.
Hmm.
We here are focusing again on universal design for learning, and there is a new 3.0 version this year as well. So you'll want to make sure that you kind of take a glance at that, focusing on making learning visible, an instructional coaching model, teaching and learning, faith, EDIAR, wellness, all of these things are going to be encompassed in everything that we do here in learning services and in each of your school sites. And so with that, we are going to start to look at a few of the different tools that are available. And yeah, I guess we're just going to kick it. We're
Kick
just going
it.
to kick it.
Let's kick it.
Just starting to talk like Joel now. So the first tool that we want to just kind of talk about quickly is Microsoft Copilot here in ECSD. So with the whole artificial intelligence kind of craze that we have going on, it's important to note that not all tools are secure and safe. And so at this point in time, we are just finalizing our ECSD guidelines for teacher use. And with that, until we're kind of in that bigger space, we do have access to Microsoft Copilot here in ECSD that we can use now, and it is the enterprise version. And so why this tool over any other tool? Well, number one, it's a division approved secure tool from our cybersecurity team. It does the same things as any of the other generative AIs do. However, it is a Microsoft product and is housed within our enterprise license that we pay for, so our security. It can generate content, it can generate images. Um, Something that's really important to note, though, is that there are inaccuracies with any generative AI, as well as bias, and even sometimes just completely made up information, which we refer to as confabulations. As a ECSD staff member, you do sign a responsible user agreement at the beginning of every school year. So it is really important for you to use any tool, whether it's this tool or any other tool, responsibly following our division guidelines. This is a really great tool to help support our new curriculum rollout, learning it, planning for it, but also our older curriculums and our legacy curriculums as well, just for that whole backward design planning. And something that's really important with generative AI, though, is that you do need to learn a little bit about prompt engineering. And of course, Joel and I are both here to help at any point in time to support you with that. But we do also have resources that we are creating. They're just slides with prompts in them to help you understand that. And then, of course, the last thing I want to just kind of chat about this is that professional judgment is super, super important. Anytime you look at any output, you look at any resource, whether it's a paper version, digital version, you need to always be putting your professional lens on everything that you use or modify or just put out there. So first thing I just want to do is I want to take you into Copilot really quickly. So I'm just going to jump over to a new tab here. So if you were to type in copilot.microsoft.com, it is going to take you to a page where you're going to sign in. You'll sign in with your ECSD email address, and then from there, it should take you in. And if it doesn't take you in the first time, it might take you to a generic page. So you need to see this prompt here, Nicole Cunningham at ECSD.net, and this green button. This is our secure environment for ECSD. You might have to click here. and you might have to switch to your work account or sign in with your work account. You do get a free personal account as well, but it is not secure. So ensure that you do that. Now, of course, this is where you put your prompts. You have up to 30 prompts in a thread, and I'm not going to dive too much deeper into this, but just note that this is where you can ask it to generate an image or generate content for you. So, hey, explain what and put that learning outcome and those CUSPs or SLEs into it so that you can understand what might be some of that information. The beauty to Copilot is it does source the information, so you can actually go and fact check it as well. And so with that, in our slides, we do have a link, and we'll have a link that will, it's not linked. Let me just go back here. Um, we will have a link in this way so that you can just click directly on it, but I'll just show you
Hmm.
where this is right now. So if you come into our emerging technology SharePoint site and you go into EdTech tools, you are going to find an artificial intelligence. And so when you come here, you have a few different options. You're going to see our journey here in ECSD and what that's kind of look like. And I put just quick links that'll take you down to where you need to go in the page here. But here's our AI journey currently, where we're at. Here's some really important information just about tools for every educator, age-appropriate AI and integration. Important to note that nothing has been approved for students at this point in time, so we are not encouraging use of that. And then, of course, the whole idea of fostering digital citizenship with the tools. Again, you can access Copilot from here. And then here are some resources to help you. So there is a set of slides to help you understand what prompt engineering is and having those 5 really important components in your prompt to best get the information that you're wanting it to generate with you. How you can use generative AI at the beginning of the school year, so some prompts for setting up an inclusive environment and things like that. Some differentiated learning, UDL, as well as some language prompts that are in here as well for our language learners. Using backward design planning, that kind of protocol for how you can set up your learning intentions and success criteria for your planning for your outcomes. And then, of course, generating lesson plans. There's also some different ideas in this space, and we will be continually adding to this space. So please check into it, try them out. The best way to learn a new tool is to play.
And I just to add on that real quick, having that little bit of knowledge before you start really helps to kind of make you more comfortable, get more specific answers, get more kind of tailored prompting. So definitely check those out just as a great stepping stone to getting to your own um, proficiency within the AI space.
And Joel and I would also love to come out and do a staff workshop to kind of get everyone into this space and to learn about the whys, why we are being careful in this
Hmm.
journey, as well as, kind of what to look for and what those cautions are, but also how to use it really effectively to support your teaching. And so with that, Joel, I'll pass it over to you.
Thanks. On the topic of effective teaching, with the pacing guides that came out, there was a technology column, and within that technology column were those ICT curricular outcomes. They were organized by division, but as we continue to grow within this role and kind of like reflect on how best to serve teachers, it became pretty evident that more needed to be given. And so we spent last year creating the scope and sequence of skills. So we took those bigger ICT learning outcomes and moved them more into a what is this going to look like in the classroom? What is this going to, and not just that, but also when each of these skills should be brought into the classroom. Are kindergarten kids going to be like learning about citing sources or learning about, double checking their information? Maybe not, but maybe it's more about learning the keyboard and learning those mouse skills. So we created this sequence of skills. You can see we've broken it down by grade and also by the, what do we call those? We'll call them like I guess competencies, right? The file management, the keyboarding skills. You can see we've made a beautiful color code. We start with a gentle rose. We work our way into a blush pink, I would call it, and then we go straight up into the fuchsia magenta space. That corresponds to how these skills should be introduced. A skill that's going to be introduced in grade 1 can then be reinforced in grade 2 and 3, and then kids can be expected to be an independent user by grades 4, 5, and 6. Now, we've also not only broken them down by the competencies, but we've also broken them down into a one-page grade level. We're going to be fleshing these out with actual activities this year. So you can expect to see those upcoming. On these pages, you now have a snapshot of these skills that you know, hopefully you're working towards within your grade level, but also you now have that variability to go jump back, see what kind of skills kids can build in order to become more proficient for their grade level. We've now on this page, you're showing me, oh, that's where to find it. Thank you, Nicole. So on the EmTech homepage, you're going to go to that new curriculum implementation. Here, you're going to find those beautiful color-coded skills. Skills and scope and sequence, as well as those one pagers. And of course, you've got your beautiful pacing guides. Oh, the amount of work that's gone into these, eh? So we've got our one pager at the top, and then you can see by month, we also have included, based on those larger placemats, with outcomes, activities, all of that kind of stuff, which hopefully this year we will then pull up into that one pager to really kind of dial in those skills that we're trying to focus on, and then what are some activities that we can kind of bring into the different subject areas and kind of make it more functional for teachers.
And so I guess just something that's important to note is keep revisiting these one pagers for K to 6
Mhm.
because we will be adding throughout this year, we will be adding resources to this space for you to be used to use in your classroom to support that digital soft skill. 7 to 12, that's kind of our next step. So that's more of
Mhm.
that's our next year focus. But for this year, this is where we're starting. And so, also, just some really great news is that we do have for this year and this year only, we do have the full premium version of Book Creator. So, they offered us a pilot. And so, thank you to our elementary curriculum manager. We have paid for the license for the year for the division. And so, with that, we did have the free version before that teachers could access. We have had a new cybersecurity privacy impact assessment done on it, and it has passed. However, with that, there are a set of guidelines. So if you're planning on using this tool, please go and check out the guidelines on our SharePoint page, and this will again be linked also in our Sway.
Sway.
But when you go in here, you are going to see our district-wide PD. We do have district-wide PD that will also be available
Quick plug, district-wide
right?
PD. Sign up.
A little plug for it. You like that?
It's a great
Um,
tool. K to
Also,
12.
just to kind of kick back, 7 to 12, there is a. I'm just going to do a plug for that too for
Hit
you,
it.
Joel.
Oh, thank you.
Joel is going to be doing a session too on AI, and so it's two. It's a two series set of sessions. So one on AI, one on Book Creator. Realistically, we've given it K to 6, 7 to 12, but you could go into either one.
Everyone is welcome, 100%.
Everyone's welcome from K to 12. And so, kind of jumping back over to my book creator space. Um, with this, there is a really cool book creator certification, which is a really great, quick way for asynchronous learning for you to just kind of, if you want to dive in there. Also, again, those guidelines are here. So if you want to register here. It is there for you. Next on the list, Joel.
Next, so I just want to circle back to that idea of how we are going to be continuing to add resources to those scope and sequence pages. This is the way to kind of stay on top of that. This is our Tech Champions community. It is a Microsoft team. You can see our list of champions there, or sorry, our list of channels. You can't see the champions, that's an anonymous list, but the list of channels there is for everyone to see. So, oh, hey, so this is a live view. Um, if you have any questions about anything kind of tech related, we have channels for accessibility. We've got channels for specific tools, discovery education. Really, if you're looking for something or if you have a question, this is a group of individuals who have identified themselves as people who want to be, a tech champion within their school, whether that be, an advocate for you or a resource. This is a wonderful place to come and communicate, connect with people who are of the same cloth. Nicole's walking us through some posts that we have put up. There's also questions that, teachers have. This is a great spot for, again, if you have that knowledge, you want to share it. If you have those questions, you want to ask them. An important thing to note, as you can see, is those channel notifications. You want to make sure those bad boys are fully on. That way, you're going to be updated immediately with anything that we add, any opportunities. You can choose the channels if you're all about Minecraft, but you don't really have anything to do with artificial intelligence, then you can pick and choose, kind of cherry pick those. But definitely a great spot to come. This replaces that email thread. So if you're used to seeing those emails, no longer are we using the emails. All of this communication, all of the troubleshooting, debugging, celebrating happens in this space now.
And we did add a new section to this called EdTech in our classroom. So we will be sharing resources in here as well too that are out in the world that are amazing. That we have some really great kind of EdTech leaders in our world that have some really great resources that we also want you to have at your fingertips as soon as they kind of showcase them
Mhm.
in whatever in the X world or whatever else it is. And so we will be adding that to this space here as well. And you can, when you turn on those notifications, you will get a little red dot here that will then tell you that you have a notification in that, but you'll also see that the channel gets bolded if there's something new in there. And so there's some Google Workspace. I think this is still probably from last year. I haven't. Oh, it's from this year. We're going to have to look into that, Joel. And so note that those are here. I just turned on my notifications for all of the channels yesterday because we did have them split up when there was 3 of us, but now that we're down to 2, we're just kind of managing it all together. So yeah, so now going forward, I know my notifications are on. And Joel, have you done yours yet?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, he's done his
Of
too.
course I
And so
have.
we will be responding when we can, but also our IT has access to this too, so that they can also respond to some of the issues that are more on their end as well. And so thank you, Joel, for sharing that. We did also, we have a couple of big PD opportunities. One is EmTech U, and this has run for a few years. We did take last year off. This is our collaboration with the University of Alberta for their EDU 595 course, Technology in Schools. So what happens here is we actually provide the 24 hours of PD, and then you write a final paper. In the summer, you register for the course at the U of A, and you write a final paper for that in the summer, and voila, you have your credits for this class. And so something that what Joel and I decided we were going to do this year is we are going to run them. I believe they were all after school, right?
Hmm.
We're running them after school. Some of them are 2 hours. The 2 hour ones, I believe, will be on Teams. The 2.5 hour ones will be in person. So we've kind of done a hybrid model of them. Something else that is really cool is that we have partnered up with Atlee and APSB and ARPDC. So if you are attending, let's say you're going to EdCata and you are going to a couple of sessions there, you will need to let us know what those are. And then what we're going to do is we are going to work together with them to use those hours towards your 24 hours that you have that you need for PD. And same with if you were to go to Convergence or to Emerge,
Or
we can
GetCat.
use those hours, or GetCat, or any of those
Hmm.
conferences. We will use those hours of learning towards your 24 hours.
So that,
Also, yeah, sorry.
I was just going to say, we're trying to, one of the focuses we want to have this year is that flexibility where, we want to honor the fact that if you're spending that professional time in other ways, that we're not just forcing these 10 sessions on you. We are going to honor those, that learning that you're doing in those other professional spaces.
And so with that too, I just wanted to mention that there is a professional growth fund grant out there that will actually cover your cost of your course through the U of A. So we'll put the link in there as well so that you can do an application for that. So if you're thinking that, oh, it's kind of hefty prices of courses, um, note that that will be there for you as well. And Joel, tell us
Thank you.
about digital citizenship.
If you're going to ask, I will. So we obviously in our role, we have a lot of schools reaching out with either celebrations of digital citizenship or concerns about digital citizenship. And, there are only two of us. And so, an effort that we're putting out this year is this monthly theme of digital citizenship. So, every month, Nicole and I are putting together different, we're putting together a video, a wonderful video, so fun. We're putting together some teacher slides. If you don't have time for the video, if you want to kind of make it your own presentation, as well as a resource for teachers to use to kind of unpack this theme within digital citizenship. And I think probably a great extra add-on is this parent page of topics or the topic that we're focusing on this month that schools can send home to parents to kind of encourage that conversation at home. We've taken the liberty to divide these topics into the different divisions so that we're kind of tailoring this theme to a specific avenue that's relevant and kind of accessible to each grade level. um, they're tons of fun. It's something that I think will be useful to supplement what's already happening within the schools as well. We're always happy to come out and work with staff, provide some staff workshops, work with instructional coaches in order to bring some more resources, some more kind of continual support to the schools. Because at the end of the day, digital citizenship is best addressed as a school. It's not something that one teacher can kind of like solve the problem by themselves. It's definitely something that needs to be brought in, or I should say, shouldn't. It's the most successful when it's brought in as part of the school culture. And so this continual focus, this kind of unpacking of elements, hopefully is functional for teachers and also impactful for students.
Thank you, Joel. And so please do note that those resources are tailored to the different age groups, and those letters, those little tip guides for parents can go in your school newsletter or your classroom newsletters. The last piece too is our Tech Champions community of practice. So we had our Tech Champions community, but then now we also have a community of practice, but it is only for K-6 teachers.
That is.
So I know it's our attempt to try to start working with groups of teachers again to try to really enhance the EdTech infusion into our curriculum. And so we only have 20 spots, and I believe 10 or 11 or 12 of the spots are already taken. So it is on ECSD events. There are 4 sessions throughout the year, plus one intervisitation session that we are covering the subs for. We are looking for tech enthusiasts. So, or even you don't need to be on top of all the tech. You need to just be eager to learn and looking at how you can integrate it into your curriculum to support your teaching and learning. And so, we're looking for one teacher per school. We're not taking any more than one teacher per school, and you need to have permission from your principal. And what else was there, Joel? There's something else. Maybe if I jump into this space, I'll find
You
it,
need to be able to
remember.
commit to all 4 sessions.
Yes.
So it is 4 half days that we are covering the subs for. And so, or sorry, like 4 sessions plus the fifth is the intervisitation, going and checking out what each other are doing. But you need to be able to commit to all of them. Um,
There is a breakdown here of kind of what our plan is. I mean, it is a plan. Plans do flex. We do know that. But that is kind of where we are starting with that. And so we are really excited to get this one started
mhm.
and looking forward to having a few extra people join just to fill up our 20. But again, there is only 20 spots. Um, Last but not least, is we did talk about Book Creator already, but we do have some other ECSD digital resources that people do tend to forget kind of exist there. So quickly, Discovery Education, we do have a license for our elementary schools for this last year. This is our 3rd year of it, and so please use it this year. There are some great resources in there to support your new curriculum, as well as Lumio, which is our smart learning suite. And I'll show you how to access those, but that is something that everybody has access to as well. And it's a really great interactive kind of platform. We did do a new privacy impact assessment on Canva for Education. And so it has been approved. And so we do have that as well for everyone. And new this year for grades 4 to 6, they are doing Joel, what is going on with Edwin?
With Edwin, it
Mhm.
is a resource for, I think at this point, it is geared towards the new curriculum in math, phys ed and wellness, and language arts. And so yeah, I don't know if this is the right word to use, but I'm going to use the word digital textbook. It is a resource created by a publisher that has been vetted and, you know, I guess it's not just a grab bag from anywhere. It's all content that has been, kind of curated and supported by the division and by like a large publisher. It is something that right now is only for 4 to 6 students, or grades 4 to 6, with the idea that as we move along with new curriculum, that more is added to it, and that we're working with them in order to make sure that the content is of a certain quality, we'll call it, in order to maximize the efficiency and effectiveness for teachers.
And if you're looking to get on board with this, then Benjamin Prather is your license activation person and also your kind of math support with Edwin. Stephanie Denman will be your English language arts and literature kind of contact person. Katarina Campbell for science, and Samantha Davidson for social studies. So again, grades 4 to 6, those curriculum consultants will be able to support you in this journey with Edwin. Also, just to note that if you were to go to a new tab in your ECSD bookmark bar here, you can access Discovery Education from here. You might have to log in the first time, but remember, you can search in this little pancake navigation bar. You can browse by your standards, so all of the new curriculum is available in this space. So you can click into here, you can go to energy, follow the organizing idea down to the guiding question, to the learning outcome, to the cusps, and find resources to support it. You can also access for kindergarten to grade 6 science. I know that you do have access to, if you go to division content in science elementary, I know that there are resources to support your science here. So you can click into a organizing idea and find an actual resource board that supports your pacing guide and that is aligned with it for all of the learning outcomes and all of your cusps.
Handmade by our very own Nicole Cunningham. Uh, Lots of love and joy, happiness went into creating these resource boards. So they are of top quality.
Thanks, Joel. Thanks. And last but not least, Lumio. If you go back to that ECSD bookmark folder, you'll find Smart Learning Suite. And so with Lumio here, you can sign in. Again, students and yourself can use this. You can assign from here. There's lots of interactives. So this is kind of like the replacement to the Smart Notebook program that was there. And so it is an online version of it. But again, it has some really great activities that you can use. They do have a Lumio library where you can search for already created resources and customize them for yourself. Yeah, so if you would like any support with any of that, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or Joel. And with that, I
Oh, I have
believe
one more thing before you say with that. You can also, with Lumio, sorry, you can upload your own PowerPoints and Google Slides into Lumio and create an interactive presentation out of the slides you already have. You don't necessarily have to start from scratch in Lumio.
right. Absolutely. They do have different organizers, different like interactive game kind of things that you can just like pull that piece over and put your own content in to make it a little more interactive. And so with that,
With
Joel,
that,
there's
Nicole,
the with that.
there's with that.
I just want to say thank you for joining us. Usually our EdTech pulses will not be this long, but we did need to hit the ground running, and
Yeah,
there is a lot of things that we needed to say to do that. So thank you so much for joining us,
thank you.
and have a wonderful day.
We'll see you in October.
Beautiful.